Something is changing, and you're probably already feeling it. Dizziness, strange sharp pains you can't explain, waves of unconditional love, and your connection to things beyond the physical is stronger than ever. And it's left you wondering, what's actually going on? I've done a reading on what the ascension process that some of us are going through right now actually feels like, what the symptoms are, and what we can expect from it. If we haven't met yet, I'm Karen, and I've been reading for people who are going through this shift and the channeling insights about it so we can find out as much as we can about it. So let's get into it. What will the ascension feel like? What are the symptoms? The magician tells me it feels like you're going to be bringing in all these energies we're all feeling around us from the sun, from the solar winds and everywhere, into you and integrating them into your body. It's not a new thing that you've had to do before. And you know you have all the tools and everything you need to do it, so you just need to do it. And it's like you're bringing in all this learning on how to do it as you go through it. Strength Reverse says it will feel a little like you're out of control because these energies are so much higher than you've ever experienced before. It's almost like your insides are not under your control anymore and things are feeling a little weird, which pretty much accounts for what people are currently going through with all these symptoms like dizziness, lightheadedness, tingling, random sharp pains, especially in your chest as your heart center opens up, vision changes, and so many other things like that. And it feels like you're out of the control. But at the same time, you are in control because the magician is there. So you're the one pulling all this energy in, and you can do it at any speed you want. There's nothing saying this has to be done super fast or anything. So that's what the whole thing feels like. If this is resonating, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment so this reaches more people. So is there a way to know where we are in the process? And for that, I have the sun reversed, which basically says, no, there isn't. It's going to be very different for everybody. So there's no way to know where you are in the process, especially with the knowledge that you currently have. And if someone told you, well, we probably wouldn't understand it. So how does having a fourth density or crystalline body go with the ascension? The Eight of Swords reverse says it's a case of you just integrate these energies into you, and that raises your vibration, which will then start to build the crystalline aspect of you. And those of you who are already partly there or nearly completely there will simply go through this phase faster. So the ascension energies will build that crystalline body bit by bit. And both sides of this work hand in hand with the ascension energies taking the lead. Is the ascension process going to be like an end event or more like a journey? Because I'd actually heard that we'd end up in this kind of pocket dimension without time that we can return to anytime we want and so on. So I really wanted to know the answer to this one, and if that's true or whether it's more like a journey. And for this, I have the Seven of Cups reversed. So what that tells me is it's not a single event like, boom, there you are, you're ascended. Instead, it is more like a journey, and everyone's journey will be slightly different depending on where they are in their growth right now, what amount of trauma clearing they've already done, how high their vibration is, and so on. And, even what they're supposed to experience. And as we progress, the High Priestess reverse says the veil will start to come down more and more, allowing us to tap further into our inner knowledge, and our bodies, because of that, will start to become more crystalline, which in turn will speed up the process. So it's like a quickening. It starts slower and just gets faster and faster as it progresses. Once we get towards the end of that journey, we'll feel the difference big time. And the Nine of Cups and Judgment tells me we're going to be very happy about the whole thing, and it's going to feel great. It's like when you hear music from a higher dimension where you can feel it in every cell of your body instead of just hearing it with your ears. So we'll know when we're there, when we're feeling, seeing, and hearing everything very differently. And when we reach that point and everything does start to behave differently, then we will see things differently, hear things differently, feel things differently. And towards the end of the journey, you'll realize that wow, I actually am different as well. I'm not the person who started this. So, what or how will we perceive things differently from what we currently do? And for that, I have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands reversed, which tells me we'll be totally coming from love. We'll move closer to our authentic selves. Things are going to look totally different, like the world's turned upside down. We'll notice all the things we haven't noticed before. We're going to stop seeing things that we used to see all the time because they no longer match our frequency. So we'll see a loss of passion around the things, the 3D issues that we're currently passionate about, because we've moved out of that vibration and we're going to get closer to nature and we're going to become basically our own authority and start trusting our own answers instead of relying on other people for information. So, is there anything we can do right now to prepare for it? And for that, I have the Eight of Wands reversed and the Ten of Swords, which says, yeah, not so much, in that there's nothing specific like some kind of organized process everyone needs to go through. It's not that rigid. It's just going to be more about going with the flow, going just naturally. Everyone is going to be very different because everyone's energy is different. But ultimately, you've got to be okay with letting go of the stuff that's holding you down, which means letting go of your trauma. Basically, that's going to go as you get higher in vibration, because you can't get higher in vibration and hold on to your trauma. So you've got to be willing to process your traumas and actually start letting them go. So what you can do to prepare, is clear out these old traumas, but then don't expect to follow a set of rules and processes to get there, because it's going to be different for everyone. So in other words, it's kind of becoming unattached to everything in the 3D and then becoming unattached to how the ascension happens, because it's not going to be like you do XYZ and you'll ascend. It doesn't work like that. What percentage of the population of the earth is going to ascend? And for that, I have the Knight of Pentacles, which numerologically gives me a 12, which adds up to a 3, so 30%. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, so I asked a friend, and she came up with the exact same answer from a different direction. 60% of the population are basically NPCs, not real people. Around 10% will be staying in 3D, and that leaves 30% ascending. So have those who are going to be ascended already started on this process? And the Six of Wands says, yes, they have. They're already doing the work, they've raised their vibration, and beings at a higher level are already celebrating the progress and the commitment and cheering us all on. Will there be something like a massive solar flare or some other event that triggers the quickening part of the journey? And for that, I have the Tower. So yes, there's going to be a cataclysmic event that's going to start the whole thing, is what I'm being told. I'm wondering about a volcano, as this kind of looks like it's sort of blowing its top and clouds of ash everywhere, and maybe some geomagnetic storms and, the solar radiation coming in. And I know it's going to be different on different timelines, and a lot has already been mitigated by what I was seeing 3 weeks ago. So it's not going to be some kind of extinction event like a massive pole shift or anything, but it's still, however, might have have us being taken off the planet on ships and stuff, or into inner Earth to get through the worst of it, because it's going to be big. So will we get advanced warning from this trigger event from people who track space weather, solar flares, planetary alignments? The Wheel of Fortune says yes, we will, after a fashion. Things may change from what they say, but we will find some information and get some warning. So is there anything else we need to know? The Page of Cups says just keep checking in with your guides and your higher self, so you know that you are staying on top of things and you're in the loop. That's the most important. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment if this resonated. And if you're wondering what any of the other signs are that might be part of all this, check out 7 spiritual awakening signs you may be experiencing. I'll drop a link in the description below so you can watch that next. There's also a link in there if you'd like to book a private reading, if you'd like more clarity on your situation. I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I'll see you in the next video.